The rise and fall of the Hell in a Cell structure. This is a video which I've been planning on making for a while now, and considering the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is coming up in a few weeks, I think now is the perfect time to, make it and put it out to you guys. So, the rise and fall of Hell in a Cell. For starters, I just want to say, the fall of Hell in a Cell has really happened since they began doing the Hell in a Cell gimmick pay-per-view. I'm just going to get that out of the way. Since 2009, where they've had minimum one and up to 3 Hell in a Cell matches at a single pay-per-view. Just that alone, having it as a yearly October pay-per-view has just absolutely destroyed the real credibility of this structure, because this structure, at its core, at its height, was used to blow off, to conclude long-lasting, really hate-filled personal feuds, personal storylines. That's what this structure was made for. And when I think Hell in a Cell, just off the top of my head, when I think Hell in a Cell, I think Mick Foley giving his life to make us entertained as fans. I think Mick Foley scaling up to the top of Hell in a Cell to start a Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker at King of the Ring 1998. I picture Mankind getting thrown off of the Hell in a Cell structure. Granted, the structure was a bit lower than it is nowadays, but nevertheless, this man, Mick Foley, got thrown off the Hell in a Cell structure. That's nuts, dude. And it's not like he was landing on, a bouncy castle. He was landing on an announce table that wasn't really cleared off. That is what Hell in a Cell is famous for. Hell in a Cell, and its most iconic match, its most iconic moment, was Mankind, Mick Foley, being thrown off the structure by The Undertaker. That was the apex of Hell in a Cell. That is what Hell in a Cell was really defined by. That was the defining moment of the Hell in a Cell structure. And that whole match, Undertaker vs. Mankind, is what we should associate with Hell in a Cell. Because the Mankind, Undertaker story, those two guys have been feuding off and on for a couple of years. You remember in 1996, we had Undertaker vs. Mankind. I believe they had a Boiler Room Brawl at SummerSlam, or it might have been another show, but they were feuding in 96, didn't really do much in 97, but 98, they feud again, this long-lasting type of feud, type of storyline between two characters. They blow it off inside of Hell in a Cell. The structure had such legitimacy, such credibility, because it was only the second Hell in a Cell match ever to that point. The first Hell in a Cell match, Bad Blood 1997, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. That match, I put out a poll yesterday asking you guys what your favorite Hell in a Cell match of all time is. It was awesome to see the responses on that poll. Just to address them, for most of you guys, your favorite Hell in a Cell matches of all time, the Bad Blood 1997 first ever Hell in a Cell match, where Shawn Michaels and Undertaker went at it inside the cell. There was the King of the Ring 1998 one, which I just talked about, Mankind and The Undertaker. There's the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match, which is really damn good. Batista and Triple H was a really damn good one. Edge versus The Undertaker was a really damn good one. Even Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, that one. And then, as far as recent ones, really Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch is the best. I saw someone say Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. I mean, okay, to me, it's the end of an era Hell in a Cell match. WrestleMania 28, Undertaker vs. Triple H, with Shawn Michaels as guest referee. That's my favorite Hell in a Cell match. Now, with that being said, we'll just move that to the side for a minute. We'll just scooch that Twitter poll over for a second. Well, back to where I was before. A Bad Blood 1997, the first ever Hell in a Cell match. No one knew what this structure would look like. No one had a clue what this structure would do for pro wrestling. No one had a clue what this structure would mean in the grand scheme of WWE and the wrestling business in general, okay? When Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker stepped into Hell in a Cell and had a 30-minute war at Bad Blood 1997, only for Kane to rip the door off and Shawn Michaels to retain, because Kane, tombstoned his brother. When that happened, pro wrestling in the Hell in a Cell was forever put on the map. It was an iconic moment, the debut of Kane, someone who is top 20 all time in pro wrestling, basically irrefutably. If you're not saying Kane's in your top 20, and you have someone like, I'm not going to get into this top 20 debate now, but yeah, Kane's an iconic all-time wrestler. For him to debut inside Hell in a Cell the way he did, it was a phenomenal debut, a phenomenal start for Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell, the gimmick, the structure, everything about it was skyrocketed from the jump. Hell in a Cell was legit. Hell in a Cell had meaning. When two guys stepped into Hell in a Cell, you would expect a blood-filled war, just a war of attrition. So you roll into King of the Ring 1998. Undertaker tosses Mankind off the top of Hell in a Cell through an announce table. Then Mankind arises from the stretcher somehow. I seriously don't know how he did that. Arises, goes to the top of the Hell in a Cell structure, approaches Undertaker. Undertaker proceeds to chokeslam Mick Foley through the top of Hell in a Cell. Mick Foley collapses, the ring breaks. How Mick Foley wasn't killed in the second ever Hell in a Cell match, how he didn't die, I'll never know. Mick Foley, just amazing. So that is the start of Hell in a Cell. That is the introduction for Hell in a Cell. An incredible Bad Blood 1997 match with Michaels Undertaker, and then this match here with Mankind, and you had the Undertaker. So that was that. Then, I mean, the other Hell in a Cell matches of note, you had Big Boss Man and Undertaker at WrestleMania 15. That match, one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches of all time. The only thing that match is memorable for is the WWF doing an angle with the Big Boss Man that they would absolutely 100% irrefutably not be able to get away with nowadays. If you don't know what happened in WrestleMania 15, basically Undertaker beat Big Boss Man inside Hell in a Cell, and then the Brood and Paul Bearer and the Undertaker proceeded to hang, I repeat, hang Big Boss Man, from the Hell in a Cell. Okay, so that happened, and then we had No Way Out 2000, Triple H and Cactus Jack. That match, incredible. The things those guys did, the Rumble street fight they had was amazing. Hell in a Cell was the perfect blow-off. It was this spiteful, bloody feud based off that match at the Rumble. It culminated at Hell in a Cell with No Way Out. Just another awesome match. Mick Foley putting his body absolutely on the line in that match. Just awesome stuff. Then, as far as other notable big-time Hell in a Cell matches, I'm just going over the ones off the top of my head to talk about the apex of Hell in a Cell. So you had No Mercy 2002. Yeah, Undertaker vs. Brock Lesnar. Amazing stuff. Really damn good with those two men. As far as other ones, we had Vengeance 2005, Batista, Triple H. That was a really damn good one as well. I think, what was it? SummerSlam 08. I believe SummerSlam 08 was Edge and Undertaker. That one was really good. I believe we had Armageddon 2005. Randy Orton and The Undertaker. That was really good. I believe we had, Batista and Undertaker had one. I forget which show that was, I think. And then, yeah, we had that. Those are some great Hell in a Cell matches. We roll into 2009. Hell in a Cell becomes a gimmick pay-per-view. Yay! Woo! Yay! Hell in a Cell is a gimmick pay-per-view. And the structure is forever ruined. Because when you're having a yearly installment of a Hell in a Cell match, if not 2 or 3, just for the sake of it, and there's a whole pay-per-view named Hell in a Cell, that diminishes the real special, once in a blue moon feel that Hell in a Cell had. When the Hell in a Cell structure would be brought out for real legit, real, blow-off type matches for feuds, it would be just that. It would feel super important. But then when you have it every October between 1 and 3 times, it loses its meaning. So 2009, we do DX versus The Legacy, which that certainly didn't need the Hell in a Cell structure. I mean, we had Randy Orton versus John Cena. Yay, inside Hell in a Cell. Hit 2010. I believe we had Undertaker and Kane in the structure, I think. I barely remember 2010. 2010 is not a very memorable show. 2011, we do Del Rio versus Cena versus CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell. Awesome Truth Run Riot. They get involved, and it's just a chaotic mess. That did nothing good for Hell in a Cell structure. 2012, CM Punk and Ryback. Brad Maddox low blows Ryback. Brad Maddox low blowing Ryback. Oh my god. Oh, that was crap. And then 2013, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Shawn Michaels as guest referee. I guess that was fine. 2014, we had Dean Ambrose facing Seth Rollins. I guess that one was good. Ambrose and Rollins actually warranted the Cell because they'd been feuding for like 4 months. So I guess they warranted the Cell. Orton and Cena had another Hell in a Cell match for some reason. That was fine. 2015, we had, what was it? That was Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. They're having a blow off to their feud that really kicked off at WrestleMania 30 when Lesnar broke the streaks. That was good. And we had Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. I guess, did that really need Hell in a Cell? No, but it was a good Hell in a Cell match. So Hell in a Cell 2015 was probably my favorite Hell in a Cell gimmick pay-per-view, at least in my opinion. And then 2016, this is where the real decline begins, because 2016, The decline began not because they put women in the cell. That's not what this is. The decline began because they decided to have 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one night. Yes, 3 in one night. 3! Because they decided to put Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the US title inside of Hell in a Cell. As if that match constitutes the almighty Hell in a Cell structure. As if the Hell in a Cell structure that was built to blow off a feud like Cactus Jack and Triple H in 2000. As if that same structure should have been used to have Roman Reigns beat Rusev to win the US title. You know, like, the structure's just fallen so far. Then you have a match like Charlotte and Sasha Banks. That's fine, okay. And then on that same show, we have, what was it, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the Universal title. So we have 3 Hell in a Cell matches on the same show. The only one that really needed it, I guess, was Charlotte and Sasha Banks, because this was 2016. This was, the time period where women had to be doing the firsts to try and really progress the revolution and the evolution of women in the eyes of the politically correct SJW type crowd. So that was the kind of thing we were dealing with in 2016. The women the women main eventing in the Hell in a Cell was fine, all cool. Having Rusev versus Roman Reigns though, really? So we go from that. 2017 was good. I remember the Falls Count Anywhere Hell in a Cell match where I think Kevin Owens took on Shane. That was really good. And then the Usos versus the New Day, tornado tag, street fight type Hell in a Cell match. Really damn good stuff. Then 2018, dude. Oh my god. 2018. Holy hell. So we have Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title. Braun Strowman announces his Money in the Bank cash-in like a week before. And then Mick Foley was the referee, wasn't he? And then Brock Lesnar just ramsacks the cell, breaks the door down, kicks it in, F5s both men on chairs, and ends in a no contest. Because that same Hell in a Cell structure that Mankind had, was thrown off, the Mankind was chokeslammed through the roof, through the ring, nearly killed himself. That same structure, and the legitimacy, the credibility, the meaning behind that structure, should be used for no contest schmoz finishes. And 3 Hell in a Cell matches at a pay-per-view, schmoz endings. It's just a disgrace. So you get to 2019. I could say so much. I'm gonna subdue myself for this one. Basically, Rollins retains on a referee stoppage inside Hell in a Cell. Oh boy. So that was 2019. Now this year at 2020, we're going to get 3 Hell in a Cell matches on the one night, which people are saying, all the matches, individually warrant Hell in a Cell. And I disagree. Reigns and Jey Uso does not need Hell in a Cell. That match can just be a regular I Quit match. Nothing about that needs Hell in a Cell. That can just be a regulation I Quit match. You can have everyone banned from ringside. That's what you can do there. But instead that needs Hell in a Cell. And I guess they're doing that just for the visual of Roman Reigns grinding Jey Uso's bloody, battered head against the steel cage as Jimmy Uso standing there looking depressed. I guess that's what they're going to go for. But it just doesn't need Hell in a Cell, dude. Then Sasha Banks and Bayley. I guess, I would have probably not had Sasha Banks and Bayley actually do a Hell in a Cell match. I would have had them have their first singles match at Hell in a Cell. Why did that match need to be on SmackDown? It was 2 minutes long. Was there any need? Just the booking of this company. And then Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. I'm totally cool with them having a third match. I just think having Drew McIntyre win a Clash of Champions, it kills a lot of the tension, because we've seen Drew McIntyre beat Randy Orton at back-to-back pay-per-views. I get Randy Orton pinned Drew McIntyre out of the blue on Raw in a 6-man tag match. But really, I don't know, fam. So yeah, now we have 3 Hell in a Cell matches for a second Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, happened in 2016, it's happening in 2020, completely diluted the Hell in a Cell. I'm just going to wrap this up, folks. Hell in a Cell has fallen so far from what it used to be. It was a structure that was once so menacing. It was once a structure that you couldn't dream of wanting to be inside of. It took years off your career. It was the blow off of a feud. It was the last final battle in a war, and now it's used to just, I don't know, fill up the October pay-per-view calendar. It's used to have random matches on because, it's October, so we have to put a mid-card to main event feud inside the Cell, or 3. You see what I mean. So yeah, that's been the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to like, comment, and sub. Become a channel member if you haven't already. All that good stuff. See ya.